Hey Rose and Narwhals, it is Friday and I just thought that we could hang out, just chat a little bit. It's me and Bender here, sitting on the floor, posted up, coming at you old school vlog style. And if you are 80 years old, none of the words in that sentence probably made any sense to you. So, for the past week, I've been in kind of a bad place. I've been pretty depressed. All I've done every day this week has been lay on the couch and watch Netflix and not shave, obviously. So we could talk about depression until the cows come home. Well, actually, we don't even have to. Rose made a video about depression once, a really awesome video. I'll put the link in the description. So anyway, if you let me go on a tangent for a second, just follow me and we'll bring it right back. When I was younger, I started developing this set of rules, my rules to be happy. And I've kind of been working on them and tweaking them in my 26 years on this planet. I've actually made a video about this too, so I'll also put that in the description. But to keep it short, basically there's two types of happiness. I call them short-term happiness and long-term happiness. Short-term happiness is like everything that you can do right now that gives you happiness just by doing it, like playing video games, watching TV, hanging out with friends, getting drunk, going to the zoo, I don't know. Anything that makes you happy while you're doing it, but that the happiness usually ends once the activity stops. Or maybe it lingers for a little while, but usually ends at the end of that day. On the flip side, you have long-term happiness, which a lot of people don't even think of as happiness. You could also call it like work, but anything that you do to grow or work on your passions, basically pushing yourself to develop a sense of pride, a sense of confidence, anything that builds your personality or your identity, like working on skills, working on just who you are as a person, anything that makes you grow and become more proud of yourself, a type of happiness that doesn't go away as soon as you're done with that activity. Sometimes that activity doesn't even have an end. If it's a skill that you're just developing throughout your life, you might constantly be growing a sense of pride in that. But anyway, that's like long-term happiness. And I think everyone has like a different balance between the two of these, but in my mind, to reach happiness is to find that balance between the two of them. Like if all you ever do is work on yourself and push yourself, you're gonna get burned out and then you're not gonna be happy. On the other hand, if all you do is like instant gratification kind of stuff, you're never gonna grow or develop as a person, and so you'll also not be happy. There's more to it than that, but that's basically the gist of it. Now, with that being said, when I was a kid, and it sounds really weird to say this, and I kind of hate to admit it, but when I was a kid, I didn't believe that depression actually existed. I guess I just thought that, like, people who suffered from depression not necessarily were lazy, but maybe just, like, were indulging too much in those instant gratification, short-term happinesses, and weren't growing and working on themselves as a person, weren't developing their identity, their personality, which was making them depressed. But as I started to get older, I started realizing that there's very successful, very driven, very awesome people in the world who suffer from extreme depression, and that didn't really make sense to me. That didn't fit into my paradigm. That didn't fit into my understanding of the world. So recognizing these things was showing me that, like, okay, maybe there is actually something going on here. And then obviously, like, once I learned and understood how the brain works, well, as much as you can understand how the brain works, and even just growing up, I started realizing that there's obviously, like, depression is a real thing that not just some people, but a lot, if not most people suffer from. Now that I'm an adult, I suffer from depression myself. And I'm extremely lucky because I know that there's people out there that suffer from constant depression. It doesn't really get me that often, but when it does, it hits pretty hard. Usually lasts only like a day or two, luckily, but sometimes even up to a week or 2 weeks. And the funny part is like I know better. Like, I can tell myself, I am extremely, extremely lucky. My life is awesome. Like, I have so many friends who honestly love me and care about me and want to talk to me and hang out with me and spend time with me, spend part of their lives with me. Even more, there's thousands of people online who find me interesting enough to want to follow me on my various social medias and follow the things that I make and my ideas and my thoughts. And like a constantly growing career that I'm always pushing myself in to try to get better in. Like, I have all of these things that I'm really proud of, but still, when this depression sets in, it's like I can't help but feel the opposite of all that. Like, I can't help but feel completely worthless, and like all that I make is just garbage for the internet, which is this just giant pile of garbage already, and I'm just throwing more garbage into it, and it feels like my friends don't actually care about me or want to spend time with me or hang out with me at all. Sometimes it even feels like my relationship with Rose is just... And yeah, like I said, it's funny because, I mean, I know better than to think all those things. You just can't help it. But once you understand how the brain works, like how complex it is, like the brain is the most complex computer that you could even possibly imagine, and it was all made by like random wires connecting and like chemical reactions just happening willy-nilly, and like getting just squirted around in there and all mixed up. So it makes perfect sense how easily a tiny little malfunction or chemical reaction in the wrong place, or just like too many of some kind of chemical or not enough of some chemical, could drastically throw a huge wrench into the entire inner workings of your mind. With all that being said, this morning was really bad. My depression's kind of been growing all week, and this morning it definitely peaked. I just felt worthless and like just a pile of dirt, and it got so bad, and I was going through this like downward spiral of negative thoughts. But in a weird way, I think that needed to happen, because that peak, anytime there's a peak in something, you know, it's going to decrease after that. At least that's how it felt. That I had finally reached like a climax. And after a while, I felt myself kind of calming down, and I was able to get up and shower. Not shave, but, you know, baby steps. And yeah, I got up and I talked to some friends on my phone, and I started doing some work on the computer. And now it's the evening, and I can honestly say that I think I'm finally starting to come out of this slump, and I'm really, really excited about that. Oh, I feel even better, like, being able to talk to you guys. Like, I'm so lucky that I have this. Like, I always have someone I can talk to. All I have to do is flip a switch and push a button, and there's so many people who I can talk to like this. It's amazing. I'm so lucky. So anyway, yeah, let's wrap some stuff up. Let's see. I told you that I got some work done today that I'm really proud of. Obviously, you know about narstudios.net. I told you guys about that a couple weeks ago. It's doing very, very well. I'm really happy about it. We actually launched the Facebook page, facebook.com/narstudios. It's really awesome. And I mean, I love the website, but the Facebook page is actually like a way easier format way to just see all of the content that we're putting there. So go to Facebook and like the Facebook page, NAR Studios. And if you like me, if you're still watching this video, then you'll probably like what I put there. What else? Oh yeah, also check in the description for Rose's video on depression. And what was the other one I said? Oh, my video on my, I don't know, just the system I've developed throughout my life of at least what works for me on how to maintain like kind of like a happiness. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much again for listening to me, hearing me out. Just getting to talk to you guys already makes me feel so much better. So that's awesome. Let me know in the comments what you do when you go through one of these funks. Is there a certain way that you bring yourself out of it, or do you have a coping mechanism, or I don't know, something that I haven't even thought of, obviously. Let me know down below, and that would really be extremely helpful. I love all you guys so much. Thanks for being part of my life, and Rose, we'll see you on Monday. Bye.